Hi everyone, this is Selina. Welcome back to one of my videos. I hope you're well. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name's Selina and I release a crochet tutorial every week. And this week I'm bringing to you this beautiful pink shawl. I really love it so much. It's so easy to crochet and it's really pretty. It features a very simple half double crochet repeat to create this V shape, and then a beautiful V-stitch border and chain arc edging are added, and it creates this shawl. The free pattern is as always available on my blog selinaveronique.com, and like I said, this is a really simple and beautiful crochet project to make. For this project I used Creative Wool Degrade by Rico Designs, and it's a really lovely yarn. It's actually one of my favorites yarns, and it is 70% acrylic, 30% wool, so it's perfect for the winter weather. It's 800 meters, so one skein is enough to crochet this this project, and it is a DK light 3 yarn. And so for this project I used a 4.5mm crochet hook, I used a pair of scissors and a tapestry needle, and that's it. And like I said, this is a really easy crochet project to make, and I will be using US terms with British terms in brackets, and of course, as always, the free pattern is on my blog along with lots of photographs. So to begin this project, you will be making a slip knot, so just go ahead and create a slip knot. Pop your hook through like so and tighten. And now what we will be doing is chaining 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now that we've chained 5, we are going to be placing a half double crochet into the 3rd chain from the hook. So just go ahead and wrap your yarn around your hook. Go into that 3rd chain, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook. Take your yarn and pull through all 3 loops. I'm just going to zoom in a tiny bit. Now, once you've done that, you will be placing another half double crochet into the next stitch. And another half double crochet into the next stitch, which is also the last stitch, and that's row 1, and the first chain 2 at the beginning of this row counts as a half double crochet, so that means there are 4 half double crochets on this row. Now for row 2, chain 2, 1 and 2, turn your work, and this counts as your first half double crochet. Go back into that same first stitch here with another half double crochet, meaning that you've placed 2 half double crochets together in the first stitch. Now go ahead and place another half double crochet into the next stitch, and another half double crochet into the next stitch, and place 2 half double crochets into the next stitch and last stitch. So that's the last stitch, which is also the chain 2 from the previous row. Go ahead and place 2 half double crochets in that stitch, and this is row 2. And as you can see, we are simply going to be repeating row 2 over and over, and this creates the build up of the shawl. So now chain 2, 1 and 2, turn your work, and this counts as a half double crochet. Go ahead and place another half double crochet into that same first stitch, and just place a half double crochet on its own into each stitch across until you reach the last stitch, which is also the chain 2 from the previous row, and you will be placing 2 half double crochets in that stitch like so. And this is row 3, and as I said, just chain 2, 1 and 2, turn your work. This counts as your first half double crochet. Place another half double crochet into that same first stitch, place a half double crochet into the next stitch and into each stitch across. And as you can see, this is a very simple pattern. You will be repeating this over and over. Row 2. So I'm going to finish on 2 half double crochets together, and this is what it looks like for now. So just carry on repeating row 2 until you have 93 rows in total. So that's the number of rows I have. So yeah, just carry this on until you are happy with the size of the shawl, or until you have 93 rows, and then I'll get back to you to show you how to crochet the border. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to crochet the border. Obviously your project will be a lot larger than this, but I'm just going to show you with a sample. The principle will be the exact same. So to begin your border, just chain 1, turn your work. I'm going to turn my work in a moment, but we are going to be crocheting our border on the V side of this shawl. So down this side and then that side. So now that you've chained 1, turn your work, and now what we are going to be doing is placing a single crochet all along this edge. So just go ahead. So to do your single crochet, I'm going to show you. Just pop your hook through your stitch, pull up a loop. You've got 2 loops on your hook. Take your yarn and go through 2 loops. And this creates your first single crochet. And this is the wrong side of the stitches, meaning it's the row side. So that means you don't have a specific stitch into which you are going to be placing a single crochet, but just make sure you place your single crochets evenly and all the way along, and you'll be fine. So just go ahead and place your single crochets. Just make sure that you have a multiple of 2, because that's what we will need later on, but just place as many single crochets as you want, and just make sure that they are a multiple of 2, which is really easy. You just need to count them and just make sure that it is a multiple of 2. So now I'm going to go along the other side with a single crochet like so. And this creates our first row for this border. There we go. And this is row 1 of the border. So now for row 2, we are going to be chaining 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and this counts as our first double crochet and chain 1. Turn your work, and this goes with our first stitch here. And so now skip the next stitch, which is the second stitch here, so just skip that and go into the third stitch with a double crochet. So to create a double crochet, wrap your yarn around your hook, go into the stitch, pull up a loop. You've got 3 loops on your hook, take your yarn, pull through 2 loops, take your yarn and pull through 2 loops, and this is your first double crochet. Now go back into that stitch with another double crochet, so just go back into the same stitch with a double crochet, and this creates a V-stitch. So this is our first V-stitch. Now skip a stitch and go into the next with 2 double crochets once again. 1 and 2. Skip a stitch and go into the next with 2 double crochets, which are also a V-stitch. Skip a stitch and go into the next with 2 double crochets. So now skip a stitch and go into the next V-stitch, and this is also the center stitch at the very point of the shawl. So you are going to be placing 2 V-stitches together in that same stitch. So to do that, you've already placed 2 double crochets. Just go ahead and place 2 more double crochets inside that stitch, like so, and that creates 2 V-stitches together in that stitch. Now skip a stitch and go into the next with another V-stitch. Skip a stitch and go into the next with another V-stitch. Now skip a stitch and go into the next with a V-stitch, like so. Skip a stitch and go into the next V-stitch. And now to finish off this round, you are going to be chaining 1, skipping a stitch and going into the very last stitch with just a simple double crochet to close off this row. And this is how we create our border. So this is row 1 of the border, and now I'm going to show you row 2. So for row 2, chain 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4, turn your work and skip a stitch and go into the next V-stitch. So what we are going to be doing for this row is just simply going into each V-stitch with another V-stitch. So just go directly into that V-stitch with 2 double crochets, which is a V-stitch, and go into the next with 2 double crochets, and go into the next with 2 double crochets, and into the next. So now that we've reached the top of the shawl, which is also the center, you recall that we placed 2 V-stitches together here at the top, which are 2 V-stitches and 4 double crochets. So go into the first V-stitch here with 4 double crochets. So just go into that first V-stitch at the top with 4 double crochets, which equal 2 V-stitches. There we go. And then go directly into the next V-stitch at the top with another 4 double crochets, which equal 2 V-stitches, like this. And now just simply go into each V-stitch across with another V-stitch. So you see it's a simple, it's a very simple pattern. And now we've reached the bottom. So to finish off this row, you are going to be chaining 1 and placing a double crochet into the 3rd chain of the chain 4 that we did. And now for the next row, you are going to be repeating this row that we've just done. Just repeat it once more so that we have 3 V-stitch rows. So just repeat it once more and then I'll show you how to create your chain arc edging. Okay, so now for the last row, which is also the chain arc edging row, what you are going to be doing is chaining 3, 1, 2 and 3. Turn your work, skip the next stitch and go into the next with a single crochet. Chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, skip a stitch and go into the next with a single crochet. Chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, skip a stitch and go into the next with a single crochet. Skip a chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, skip a stitch and go into the next with a single crochet, and do this until you reach the end of this row, and then I'll show you what to do then. So I've reached the end of this row and I've chained 3, and I'm just going to go into the next stitch with a single crochet to finish off this chain arc edging. And this is what I have. Obviously yours will be a lot nicer and a lot wider than mine, because so snip off your yarn and pull through the loop to fasten off, and obviously tidy up all your loose ends, and that's it. We finished our project. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And also, if you want more feminine crochet projects and patterns, just head over to my Patreon, and the link is in the down bar. Thank you so much for watching and see you next week. Bye bye.